What is up, folks, and welcome back to Boosted Motorsports. Today's video, we're going to be working on the Dodge Dakota RT, and like I mentioned in the last video, if you guys haven't been up to speed, make sure you click off this video, check out the other videos, but we are going to be beginning the install of the front mount intercooler on this supercharged setup. All right, so at this point, we're pretty much looking to build the Dodge Dakota RT as primarily almost a race truck. So this project truck, we are trying to go fast in this truck. And I know there were some comments before, actually hold that thought. Everybody was making comments on this that I need to clean it. This is the factory primer. It's not dirty. Well, maybe it's a little bit dirty, but I promise this is not dirty. It is just the fact that they never put blue paint here. You can see it transitions from there into this black primer. Normally there's the big under hoods, bib thing that goes there. I mean, it is a factory hood, it still has a factory sticker, the catalyst sticker on it, but that's just where Dodge decided to stop with the blue paint. So now that we got that cleared up, we are gonna be removing all the front condenser to make more room for the intercooler setup. Like I said, we're gonna make this pretty much a race truck, and we're gonna see how far we go. So one other thing I do wanna mention, and I've kind of been talking with Flying Ryan, is this truck, we're gonna see how far we go with the Magnum setup. So if we need to, and if things come up, we may stick a different engine in there. This engine, first let's back up. The procharger kit that's on there, the P1SC, will probably only bring us to maybe about 500 wheel horsepower. And then we're kind of limited by the heads and the camshaft on this engine. So we're gonna have to figure out what we wanna do. And then if we wanna sink a lot more money into this engine, I think we might end up around 600 wheel horsepower with heads, cams, and a blower. But this blower is gonna kinda limit us unless we go with a D1SC, a bigger one, but we're still plagued with the issues of belt slip, and all the other stuff that comes along with the supercharger setup. Plus, having a supercharger actually puts a really big load on the engine. If you guys have ever been in a 4-cylinder car and you turn on the AC, you know how much it bogs it down. Well, that is like doing that times 10. So even though it's pumping air and making more power into the engine, it's also taking a lot of energy to turn that big air pump. So we may end up going with a turbo setup, but I'm kind of working on a few things. I'm trying to see if I can lock down a different engine for this, but in the meantime, we're gonna stay on track. We're gonna boost it. Like I said, we'll get that intercooler set up on there, and we may either go single turbo on this thing. I'm gonna try to get a welder, and we might just do like a backyard homemade kit, or there's a couple companies out there that make a single turbo kit for it. I've reached out to them. We'll see what happens. Either way, we're gonna make this thing go fast. Let's get rid of the slow parts on it and remove all that AC component. So the AC system never worked anyways on this thing, and it was empty, so we're just gonna remove it. And I just started doing that. I wanted to make sure I had the right parts before we started this video. So I have these things here. I don't know what the official name is for it, but this is a special tool. And what happens is this slides in. It's kind of like you can use these for fuel lines or AC lines. And see this kind of bulge here? You slide the correct size coupling with that sleeve in, it pushes the locking collar in there, and then you can slide these apart like you can see right there. Also, see all this rubber stuff? All this is gonna come out because our intercooler piping is gonna come through here. We're gonna get rid of this condenser. Originally, our plan was to keep the AC and push this back, but I wanna go full send on this thing now. I'm really anxious to make this truck go fast at whatever cost it takes. Not financial cost, but just get rid of stuff that we don't need to go fast. So that's where we're at with this thing. Let's go ahead and crack into it, start moving some of those lines and components. Okay, here's where we at. We got this one off, and this one was being a pain for whatever reason, but we finally got that one out, and we removed that upper portion there, so that's off. And we can finally remove all of this rubber. So this rubber is just held in with those like Christmas tree style clips, but we no longer need all this junk in here. So all this old nasty rubber, I'm just gonna pull it out. I don't know if I can get to all the clips, but there we go. So that dirty rubber thing is out of there. And that's what I was meaning. We're gonna have a perfect amount of room to sit here and come through. So this, at this point, is this standing here by itself. So I'm gonna remove these 2 bolts, and hopefully this whole assembly will come out the front. Okay, so we're working on the truck, and then these guys showed up.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So these guys have a YouTube channel, Broke Boys.
Broke Boys, yes. I don't know if you guys have stumbled across our videos, but yeah, he hit me up. We live in the same city, so why not? I mean, he has a Viper, like, I'll take that invitation any day.
So what, like, what would you say your channel's about, or like, what do you guys do? Or?
We mostly have Hondas. I have an S2000. He has a Cross Tour. I have a Civic. Our other buddy has a Civic as well. So a lot of JDM, a lot of stance stuff. So if you guys are into that, you know, head over to our channel. But yeah, today we're gonna be helping our boy out. His radiator. I
know. So if you guys, they're doing a lot of the same stuff that we're doing here. They're keeping things on a budget. You know, real people, real channel, and they're doing, right now, he didn't tell you too much, but he's got a Civic project that he's doing like a complete motor swap on, putting something completely different in there. So we'll link it down below. You guys can check out their channel too, but probably be seeing a lot more of these guys on here too. Yeah, so definitely. We live like 5 minutes apart, and us YouTube folks gotta stick together. So that's the plan. So we'll probably see some of their projects here on this channel too. I mean, we got the lighting, we got the space, so we'll share it that way too. So, but yeah, let's keep working on this. I almost got this thing out. I think we figured this out, and we're gonna try and get that thing in there. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's yank it. All right, so we got the condenser out. There it is, and we ended up, see these 2 tabs here? They just sit there, and there's kind of these rubber grommets on the bottom. So these guys helped me. We had to kind of do like a 3-man show here. We had to lift the rad up and kind of kick the bottom out because it was sitting right there. So it was sitting in the frame there, and we kind of lift it out and then get those 2 like ears past so we can pull this out. So starting to be a lot more room, I think. See this? There's a bolt here and a bolt there, and then another one behind. So the rad overflow is gonna have to go. I think we'll take out this like cross brace, and then we'll see where we can fit that Mishimoto. So let's get it out. Okay, so we ended up taking out that overflow tank, and we've got a bunch of room, you guys. I don't know if we have to take out this thing, this like cross brace or whatever the heck that thing's called, but we'll try fitting the intercooler in there and see if she fits. We still gotta come up with some sort of bracket too, but we'll see if we at least have enough room. Okay, so you guys saw it does fit in here. Only thing is it's touching right here on these arms. So we're gonna unbolt it. There's a bolt there, up there, and there. We'll unbolt it, and then we should have enough room. We'll figure out some brackets. All right, so we got it roughly fitted. We got a Broke Boys style. I think we're just gonna leave it like this. we got it all taped up in there. It's kind of crooked, but we just wanted to see. They're like, it's done, it's finished. We're gonna, we just wanna see if it'll clear the grill. Because this truck is a salvage title and it's been in a wreck at some point, our hood is like bent like crazy. So I'm just trying to debate whether it's in enough. I think it is. I mean, the hood's closed, but see how the grill's kind of sticking a little forward there? And I don't know if it's always been that, or now I'm just really looking at it, but we'll see. And we're gonna try to mount it in there just like that. So we'll keep working. Okay guys, so where we're at is I marked this here, marked it there. We kind of just put something in there to kind of just stabilize it. And it looks like because this hood is slightly bent that it actually kicks out a little bit. So there's these tabs that are on the rad here, and we're gonna just nip them off because they're not doing anything on our application, and it's just this plastic here. So we'll take them off. It'll allow us to push the intercooler back a little bit. And then that way our grill, once we get a hood that's probably not bent, it'll actually close properly. So, and then what we're gonna do is I think we've decided we'll end up putting a hole here, a hole there, and then an Allen bolt is gonna go in there. Allen head bolt, and the top will just be an access. So that's the plan. Let's cut these off. guys, so we've got everything double triple checked as far as measurements go, and when we ground off those tabs are on the rad, it allowed us to push it back and gave us a bit more room here in the front so that the grill can close properly. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick with our plan. We got our lines and stuff. We'll drill the hole, bolt will go through, and this will be the access point, and then the bottom will be actually where it's drilled and whatnot. So it's gonna look good. It's gonna look super clean. Let's get those holes drilled. Guys, Broke Boys are out, and you guys will be seeing more of them on the channel. Since they live so close, we'll be showing some of their projects too. Let's get back to work. All right guys, so we managed to get our bolts through. I gotta pick up some washers for this because we did have to kind of make it a little bit, you know, the hole a little bit bigger, because this actually fits on an angle. So this rad support's not completely flat, so even though the bolt is straight, it's kind of having to go through this bar on an angle. If you guys can see that, see how it's sloped down, so the hole can't be perfectly, you know, centered. So but anyways, it's through. I'm gonna have to come up with some spacers for there or some washers, but we got our clearance here, there, and like you guys saw on the back, we shaved down those tabs that were sticking out, and it fits like a glove, you guys. So when we close the hood, check this out. Everything clearances and it fits back there perfectly. So, and it's gonna have a ton of airflow directed directly at the intercooler. So I'm really happy with the way this came out, you guys, and it looks even better than a grill. And then once we have our intercooler piping in there too, it is going to look sweet. Okay guys, so it's already late today. Again, I'm gonna link down below Broke Boys YouTube, so go check out them, give them a follow, and as always, we're gonna be working again tomorrow. So tomorrow's plan is we're gonna be putting on that intercooler piping, and it actually went pretty fast. So I'm hoping tomorrow I'll have enough intercooler piping and couplings to tie everything together, and that'll be the next video that you guys will see on this channel. And it looks like we should be ready to fire this thing back up with the new intercooler setup if all goes as planned. And we'll be boosting our charge air temps will be a lot lower, so we can probably throw a bit more timing at it, and we'll be at the track in no time. So anyways, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. We'll see you on the next video.